Hello, family and friends. Today's teaching is on the gifts of the Spirit. Life is good when you have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. 1 Corinthians 12, verses 7 through 11, speaks of the gifts of the Spirit. Today's teaching is on the spirit of healing. God has the power to give you emotional freedom from your deadly, toxic, damaged emotions. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verses 6 through 10 in the Living Bible read, Satan, the god of this evil world, has blinded the minds of those who don't believe, so they are unable to see the glorious light of the good news that is shining upon them. They don't understand the message we preach about the glory of Christ, who is exactly likeness of God. We don't go around preaching about ourselves. We preach Christ Jesus, the Lord. All we say about ourselves is that we are your servants because of what Jesus has done for us. For God, who said, "Let there be light in darkness," has made us understand that this light is the brightness of the glory of God that is seen in the face of Christ, of Jesus Christ. But this precious treasure, this light and power, now shines within us, is held in perishable containers, that is, in our weak bodies. So everyone can see that our glorious power is from God. Who's it from? God. And is not our own. We are pressed on every side by trouble, but we are not crushed and broken. We are perplexed, but we don't give up and quit. We are hunted down, but God never abandons us. We get knocked down, but we get up again. We keep going. Through suffering, these bodies of ours constantly share in the death of Jesus, so that the life of Jesus may also be seen in our bodies. He lives in us, 1 John 4:4. Greater is he that's inside of me than he that's in this world. It is normal for people to feel down when they experience stressful circumstances, such as the death of a loved one or a friend, a divorce, a broken relationship, fired at work, health problems, financial pressure, homelessness. The list could go on and on, but they are one of the 7 top stressors that we deal with here on earth. Failure to deal with these problems lead to a deeper depression, inability to experience pleasure, inability to make right decisions, loss of appetite, loss of energy, lack of enthusiasm, and lack of motivation. John 16:33 reads, I have told you all this so that you may have peace in me. Here on earth you will have many trials and sorrows, but take heart, because I have overcome the world. There was a lot of people in the Bible who was depressed. Noah was angry and depressed due to his disobedience. Not Noah. Jonah was angry and depressed due to his disobeying God. Naomi was bitter and depressed due to famine in her hometown. David felt guilty to his adultery and murder. Joseph's brothers hated him, and all of them felt the shame. Job became depressed because of all of his losses. He was overwhelmed. This is the best one. Jesus fought against depression the night before he was crucified. Matthew 26 in the Living Bible, verses 37, 38, and 39 reads, 36 through 39. This is Jesus' praise in Gethsemane. I can't pronounce it good. Then Jesus brought them to olive grove called Gethsemane, and he said, "Sit here while I go on ahead to pray." He took Peter and Zebedee, two sons, James and John, and he began to fill with anguish and deep distress. He told them, "My soul is crushed with grief to the point of death. Stay here and watch with me." He went on a little further and fell face down on the ground praying, "My Father, if it is possible, let this cup of suffering be taken away from me. Yet I want your will and not mine." So verse 37, he took Peter and Zebedee, James and John. He was getting love and support, which we all need, love and support. And then in verse 38, he pours out his soul and he labels what's in his heart. He doesn't suppress it. He speaks it out. And then in verse 39, he prayed and did his Father's will. Hebrews 12, verses 1 through 3 reads, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by such huge crowds of witnesses to the life of faith, let us strip off every weight that slows us down." And damaged emotions does slow us down if we don't deal with them and label them and express them and get over them. So let us strip off every weight that slows us down, especially the sin that so easily hinders our progress. And let us run with endurance the race that God has set before us. We do this by keeping our eyes on Jesus, on whom our faith depends from start to finish. He was willing to die a shameful death on the cross because of the joy he knew would be his afterwards. Now he's sitting in the place of the highest honor beside God's throne in heaven. Think about all he endured when sinful people did such terrible things to him, so that you don't become weary and give up. Now listen to what studies proved about damaged toxic emotions. Anger drains your energy. Bitterness feeds cancer cells. Guilt leaves you with regrets. Hate activates your nervous system and overworks the heart. Resentment weakens your immune system. Unforgiveness will eat you alive. Study it. Ask Google if you don't believe me. Letting go of anger, bitterness, guilt, hate, resentment, and unforgiveness will improve your mental health so depression does not snap your energy or your health or true happiness. May God draw out the pain and heal your heart. He's close to the brokenhearted. The heart is very deceitful. I pray that you pray to the Lord of what's really inside of your heart. Express your thoughts and label your emotions and give it all to God and let go and watch how he heals you. He's the counselor and he's the Prince of Peace. He loves you so much. God bless you.